The hum of the refrigerator was the loudest sound in the house that night. A sound I'd grown to loathe. It was a constant, unwavering drone, a mirror to the dull ache in my chest. 3 months. 3 months since I'd found the burner phone tucked into the lining of her purse. 3 months since the gut-wrenching discovery of her double life. 3 months of a carefully constructed charade of normalcy, while inside, I was a tempest of rage and betrayal. Sarah, my wife, or rather, the woman who used to be my wife, sat on the couch across from me, scrolling through her phone, oblivious to the storm brewing inside my head. She had this annoying habit of humming under her breath, a little, off-key melody that once soothed me and now grated on my every nerve. She looked contented. That was the most infuriating part. Here I was, drowning in the wreckage of our marriage, and she was browsing through Instagram, probably liking pictures of other people's perfect lives. Our marriage hadn't been perfect, no marriage is. There were arguments, disagreements, the mundane friction that comes with sharing a life. But I loved her, deeply and irrevocably. I had built my world around her. We had plans, dreams of a family, a future painted in hues of shared joy. But she had traded it all away for a fleeting thrill, for the hollow promise of freedom. She had told me she needed space, that she felt suffocated, those well-worn clichés of the cheating heart. Initially, the urge to confront her, to unleash the fury that was eating me alive, had been overwhelming. I wanted to scream, to shake her, to make her understand the depth of her betrayal. But something held me back. I didn't want a messy, screaming match. I wanted something more calculated. I wanted to make her feel what I was feeling, a cold, bone-deep understanding of what she had thrown away. So I'd become a ghost in my own home. I cooked dinner, did the laundry, maintained a semblance of our normal routine. But my eyes held a distance she didn't notice, a chill that should have sent shivers down her spine. I watched her with a detached curiosity, cataloguing her every movement, every lie, every subtle sign of her affair. I became a silent observer in my own life. The man she was seeing was a realtor, a smarmy, silver-tongued charmer named David. I'd found his number in the burner phone. He was everything I wasn't. Confident, flashy, seemingly wealthy. He drove a fancy car, wore expensive suits, and had that self-assured air that spoke of a life without struggle. I saw him once, by chance, leaving Sarah's favorite coffee shop, a smug smile playing on his lips. That was the moment my revenge took form. It started small. I began subtly altering things. I changed her passwords, locking her out of her social media accounts. I deleted her favorite playlists, replacing them with silence. I cancelled her subscriptions, one by one, stripping away the little comforts she took for granted. I moved her things around in the closet, in the drawers, creating subtle chaos that she couldn't quite understand. She started getting frustrated, but she attributed it to her own forgetfulness, a symptom of her busy life. It was amusing, watching her unravel, little by little, without ever knowing the hand behind it. Then I moved on to bigger things. I started meticulously documenting every single expense she made, every purchase she didn't need, every frivolous indulgence. I downloaded all her texts, her emails, her private conversations with David, creating a digital archive of her betrayal. I meticulously crafted a spreadsheet, detailed and unforgiving, outlining every cent she'd spent since the affair began. My plan wasn't about physical violence or screaming matches. It was far more insidious. I wanted to dismantle her world, piece by piece, just like she had dismantled mine. I wanted to expose her, not just to me, but to everyone she knew. The next step was the house. It was a beautiful, sprawling property, the one she was so proud of, the one she loved to show off. I made a call to the bank. She had been very reliant on my credit. It was easy to establish there was a large loan she was secretly in debt with, and the loan was under my name. I notified the bank the property was for sale and I needed to pay back the debts associated with it. They were happy to comply. I took out a new line of credit, leveraging everything I could. Then, I paid off all the loans under my name. This left her with nothing. This would eventually bankrupt her. And David, the smooth-talking realtor. I started leaving anonymous messages with his clients, hints of his affair, accusations of his unethical business practices, small seeds of doubt that would eventually bloom into full-blown distrust. The messages were crafted to plant the seeds of suspicion, not accusation. His clients started pulling the deals. His career started crumbling. Then, the final act. One Saturday morning, I woke up before her, put on a crisp white shirt, and made a pot of coffee, the kind she always enjoyed. I waited until she was fully awake, groggy from sleep. "Sarah," I said, my voice calm and steady, "I think it's time we had a talk." She sat up, rubbing the sleep from her eyes. "What is it?" she asked, a touch of annoyance in her voice. I placed the spreadsheets on the table in front of her, the meticulously detailed documentation of her expenses and the digital archive of her affair. Her face paled. She stared at the papers, a slow, creeping horror washing over her. "I know everything, Sarah," I said, my voice quiet but firm. "Every text, every email, every lie. I know about David. I know about the burner phone. I know everything." She didn't say a word, her eyes wide with panic. She tried to reach for the phone, but I gently moved it away from her. "I've taken care of everything, Sarah. The house is being sold, your debts are mounting, and David's career is in shambles." I paused, letting the weight of my words settle. "Your freedom, the thing you craved so much. It has a price, Sarah. And you're about to pay it all." The fight drained out of her then. She crumpled onto the couch, the Instagram browsing woman gone, replaced by a broken, defeated creature. There were no tears, no anger, just a profound emptiness. She looked lost, bewildered, like someone who had finally understood the gravity of her actions but was too late to change anything. I got up, took one last look at her, and left. I walked out of the house, leaving her in the ruins of her own creation, her freedom, now a desolate wasteland. As I walked away, I didn't feel the satisfaction I thought I would. Instead, there was a profound sense of loss, a deep, echoing emptiness. I knew that I had won, but in some ways, we both had lost everything. The house was gone, the marriage was over, and the woman I loved was just a memory. I drove away, leaving behind the ghosts of what we once were. It was not a celebration. It was an ending, and I knew that somewhere, in the ruins of her shattered world, she would finally understand that freedom without love, without loyalty, without honesty, was just another prison.